Welcome to ESG in Korea. I am Jonathan Moore, and I'll be your host today. We have people from all over the world. I can see you commenting right now, so thanks for that. You can continue to say where you're from. I'm curious to see where you guys are coming from. I see Korea. I've seen India, Taiwan, the U.S. Where else is everyone coming from? Any other countries I didn't mention? Spain. Hello, Spain, Stockholm, Sweden. Okay, Canada, Latvia. Wow, guys, you guys are everywhere. Okay, Philly and the Bahamas. Great. So thanks again for joining. Let me give you a rundown of what this event is going to look like. Basically, we'll have a panel discussion in a few minutes with a few of our VCs. Then we'll have the pitches that you came for. And after that, you're going to vote on your favorite pitch. And you can do that all within AirMeet right here. We'll explain that a little bit later. At the very end, we have a networking session where you can network with anybody you want from this event. The startups are going to network with the VCs individually, but the rest of you in the audience, you can network with each other. Okay, so that should be a really fun time for everybody. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You guys can continue to talk in the chat. That's great. It might be more interesting than me, sorry. So if you have something interesting to say, introduce yourself. Give your little pitch right here in the chat section. By the way, if you have a question for the panel discussion at any time, you'll notice there's a Q&A section up there. Next to the chats, it says Q&A. You can ask a question, and I can bring that up on the screen for everyone to see. All right, so if you have a question for our panel of judges in the next few minutes, go ahead and start getting those ready and asking them, and then we can all look at them together. Okay, so first of all, guys, this is an event sponsored by the City of Seoul, South Korea, as well as SBA Seoul Startup Hub based in Seongsu. Seoul Startup Hub is one of the government incubators and organizations to help startups, and they are one of our sponsors today. So they are happy to feature some great Korean startups here on a global stage online for everyone to see, especially those in the ESG space who are really making an impact. So I hope all of you are interested in ESG. That's probably why you came here. And let's go ahead and get started. So, by the way, using this program is a little bit different from Zoom and the other ones. At the end of each session, there will be a 10 or 15 second delay while we stop the session and begin the next session. So don't go away. Nothing is wrong. That's just how it works. All right. So yeah, I'm going to announce the judges real quick before we start. You can see them here. We have 11 judges joining us. Not all of them are going to be speaking because we would be here all day. But you can see them: Circles Life, Pegasus Tech Ventures, Tembusu Partners, IFC, Yusaco Group, Inlight Ventures, Blissfine Ventures, and 541 Ventures. Thank you to all of the VCs coming today. And we also have an angel investor here as well. Okay, like I said, we're going to go away for 10 or 15 seconds. You will see a countdown, but stay on this page. Don't leave. See you in a few seconds. Okay, I'm going to ask the judges to please mute your mics for a second. Just get started. Thank you. I'll introduce you guys one at a time. Great, but you're all here. That's perfect. So you guys go ahead and turn your videos on. Let's introduce who we are. So first of all, let's start in the top. We've got Han Ko on the top from my screen. Han Ko from the Yusaco Group. You can wave your hand, say hi.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Great, thank you. Then we have Jin Loon coming from Singapore. Jin, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
Great. And Jin is coming to us from Tembusu Partners. Next on my screen, I see Sabrina Wetterkamp. She's coming from Pegasus Tech Ventures. Sabrina, say hi.
Hiya.
Next, we've got Raj Sastry. Raj comes from Circles Life. Hello, Raj.
Hi, everyone, from Singapore.
Great. Also in Singapore. Right. And finally, we've got Sayan Ghosh from the IFC World Bank Group. And Sayan, where are you joining us? Are you in Singapore as well?
I'm based out of India. Hello, everyone.
Okay, great. Great to have you guys. Okay, So we have so many more investors joining us, but these are the ones who are joining us and on our panel discussion where we can talk about ESG a little bit. So I'm already seeing some questions come in on the right. If you guys in the audience do have questions for the panel, go ahead and start asking them and we'll answer them. The first question right here, I'll just ask it to all of you as a group, whoever wants to answer first. Why is ESG so trendy? I joined because I wanted to learn more about it. So why is ESG so trendy nowadays? Who would like to take this one?
I'll take it.
Han, go ahead.
So yeah, ESG is the basically hot topic right now because number one, it impacts us directly economically, environmentally. And basically, it's a lot of people think that it touches our survival, our generation, next generation. So I think it's a combined effort as a human race. We can make a difference. I think that's one of the reasons.
That's a great
Thank you.
answer. Yeah, I think that's great. Would anyone else like to add to that on our panel here?
Absolutely.
Why it's so trendy? Yeah, Sayan.
Yeah, I think I'm representing the World Bank Group here, and for us, it is very critical. We have seen all this Paris agreements and the deadlines getting pushed out year after year, right? Now's the time, right? If it gets getting pushed on, the temperature of this planet keeps increasing year after year. We'll see more of this drastic changes in climate, which impacts all forms of life on this planet, puts our generation as well as all of our future generations at risk. So as a group, we are extremely concerned with regards to the current scenario. And in all of our investments, we have pledged that, in most of our investments, we have pledged that we'll focus on climate. We'll have to continue to reduce emissions. We'll have to continue to invest in more environmental friendly solutions. And one of the ways it can be solved is using technology, starting from EVs to reducing travel. Even for healthcare, education, wherever we can reduce travel, any form of travel, even we are not traveling for this event to see all and joining from different parts of the world through this air meet technology, right? Even that reduces some sort of carbon footprints. So in whatever ways we can reduce the carbon footprints in this world, we'll have to continue to do so.
Great. I wonder, it makes total sense with climate change. We do have to start thinking about these initiatives in ESG. What has the COVID-19 impact? What kind of impact has it had on ESG? Do you have an answer to that, or does anyone else want to have a comment on how COVID may have impacted this space?
Yeah, no. So when COVID, this is Raj. So when COVID struck, I think all this time we were viewing ESG as a sort of a hedge, and not really thinking about how do we create contingencies going forward. On all front, right? Be it logistics, be it in education sector, or be it in financial technology sector, right? When ESG came in, we started thinking about creating contingencies. So I think that was one of my biggest learning, and I saw many fund managers talking about that with their portfolio companies.
Okay.
Maybe to add another layer would be that through COVID, it's not a faraway concept. It fundamentally affects each of us personally. And I think sometimes it's shortening that distance between us and these disparities, be it income, medical access. We almost have to feel it firsthand to really then spring into action in our corporate lives. And I think that's one variable in why now and not earlier. But then maybe from an investment perspective, as Raj mentioned, previously it's more negative screening, it's more of a risk mitigation framework. Now I think investors are talking about, the idea of impact multiple of money. Could it be possible that with the acceleration of COVID, a lot of these companies actually can generate return in a way that they didn't before. And can we measure that back into return and tie back to our investment thesis? I think that's an equally important maybe question to ponder.
That's a good point. So then in that case, what would be the main challenges to the continued growth of sustainable investing? Would you guys see as any challenges?
Jonathan, could you repeat that question one more time, please?
Yeah, so as Jim was saying, it started off as a way to mitigate risk, and then it kind of evolved into something else. What kind of challenges do you guys see for, to continue growing this space of sustainable investment?
Can I go for that one?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Han Ko here. Yeah, one of the main challenges, hurdles that I see that it's going to be in our way down the road is that it's a basically political jurisdiction, I guess I would say, right? So not just environmental perspective, okay? It's more with the social and of course the governance. So it depends on simply how we as a human race in culture, like how we actually work as a United Nations, work together, right? So I think that is one of the major element that we have. It could work for us, it could work against us, but I think that's how. In other words, bottom line is how we can work together. I think that's one major thing. So ESG is actually a lot to do with non-financial factors, right? So the answer is that how we work together beyond profit benefits, right? So that's the way that I see in this space. So thanks.
Thanks. We actually have lots of questions from the audience, and I want to get to them real quick because we have 5 minutes before we have to move on. So the first one, I'll put this on the screen. How significant are the differences in ESG awareness around the world? How would you rate Korea in comparison to Europe and the US? So the best suited, I don't know, Han, maybe you are the best suited to answer this question. How would you rate Korea compared to Europe and the US?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that question. Actually, I thought about this before because again, I have an office in US and then in Seoul. So I travel back and forth a lot before the pandemic. During pandemic, I travel online, of course. So a simple answer to this question is that Korea is actually very far in terms of perception and then also awareness. Okay, but I guess I would call it as a pros and cons in a way. Okay, if you can do a SWOT analysis, but I'm not going to go that far. But anyway, it's advantage. I mean, the advantage, competitive edge that South Korea has is that people are aware about it and people are conscious about it. The hurdles that South Korea has that because of size of the market. Okay, so South Korea is like probably 10th or 11th largest market in the world, but because of the resource the government putting in is actually limited. Also, Korea has a by nature, South Korea has limited in natural resources. Okay, so that's another hurdle. So that's how I see that how the Korea stands in terms of global stage. So thank you. I'm going to make it short so other people can comment on that one.
Thanks for that. And well, I think you're probably best suited for that since you are Korean. But I want to ask Sabrina the same question. How would you compare that with China versus the rest of the world?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So I would say that China still lags a little bit behind developed markets when it comes to ESG practices, especially awareness from the people. But we can see that the regulations are increasing. Of course, because authorities, they need to recognize, right? They have to control the pollution, that they need to preserve the environment. They need to implement new regulations when it comes to labor rights, product safety, and also diversity. So it's more of like a top-down implementation, which I think is quite interesting because from my experience, what I've seen in Europe so far is often that the people are more of like the initiators. They see how important, like how climate change affects everyone. And so it's a very popular topic also like in my peer group. But in China, I would say it's more something that comes from the government itself than from the people.
Right. Okay. And I guess that seems to vary from country to country, which governments are doing more and which countries where the people are kind of wanting it and the government's not doing much. So it's really interesting to hear that perspective. We have a few more questions here. I'm going to put them on the stage. Let's try to answer these as quick as possible, guys, so we can get through them real quick. Is ESG imperative even for startups? That's a great question. I'm going to ask Jen to go with this one. What do you think?
Yeah, this is so with our fund, we work with founders early stage, and usually they come in with some thoughts around their impact. Maybe it's number of users, maybe it's a percentage of income bracket serving, but it's usually not more than that. And then hopefully through working with us, we can help, or our partners can help these founders think more about whether or not there's some ESG metrics that's not metrics for metrics' sake, but ultimately it helps guide your business to grow in a more meaningful way. And sometimes I think it's around the circularity, closing the loop, that it's not just about bringing in emerging lower income communities in emerging markets, but do you actually provide them with training? Do you provide them with education? Trying to close the loop and how we think about impacts for these stakeholders. I think it's often perhaps a blind spot for early stage companies, but there's definitely, I think it's challenging to request of founders to think about this too early when you are also busy, chasing after product market fit in your commercials as well. So it's a fine art. I think it's more art than it is a science to balance it.
Great. I think that makes perfect sense. Does anyone have a different opinion than Jen on this? I'm pretty sure everyone probably agrees with that. Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay. I hope that answers the question of whoever asked that. I didn't see your name. I left it. Sorry. That was Mr. Yun. Okay. Let's go with another question. Let's see. Here's one. How does ESG, the main differences between SDGs and ESG? Does anyone feel comfortable to answer this question? What are SDGs?
So I could chime in here as well. So the UN SDG goals is just another way of segmenting or understanding all that we have to do. But the ambition of the SDGs is it's not necessarily a mandatory reporting frameworks, which there are plenty of ESG frameworks to support that. The SDGs is meant for it to more enroll everybody to participate. Even if you are not too sure what governance or social metrics may mean, you can probably understand what life underwater would look like. You could probably understand what income disparity would look like. So it's just another framework to understand the problem. But I'd say the SDGs spring you more into action in that they're very understandable terms. And there's, of course, a lot of different activities that companies, governments, and even SMEs can back behind because of this framework.
Great. Thanks for that. I'll ask one more question. And here it is. Would VC investors be interested in such values we calculate with trustworthy partners? Raj, would you like to answer this one? Do VC investors care about this that much?
Yeah, they do. I mean, if you look at the landscape right now, even in the early stage investments in the technology sector, because of all the reason that got talked about, by all the other panelists, this is becoming important, and we see that even in technology companies which are starting off, and then some of these technology companies are actually dedicated towards clean environment, climatology. So there is a whole bunch of technology companies just focused on these sectors, poverty alleviation. So the SDG framework, what we talk about, companies are looking at each of the boxes of SDG and starting companies to solve problems. So I would say that if a company is solving one of those boxes in SDG and using technology, those are probably going to end up with a higher valuation, right? Or higher valuation means that people value that concept much more than the others, right?
Right. All right. That's all the time we have for the panel. Guys, thanks for answering the questions. Thanks to the audience for asking the questions. We're now going to get ready for the pitches. So again, like before, the screen's going to go blank for a few seconds while we get the startups to prepare their videos, and then we'll be back here in just a few seconds. Reminder to the judges to please start judging in real time as we go on. Not to forget about that. Hopefully your judge sheets are working. If you have any problems, you can PM me directly on the platform. And yeah, startups, here we come. See you guys in about 15, 20 seconds. And welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we didn't lose you there. Like I said, we're going to go away and come back every few seconds between sessions. So first, let me tell you the first startups that are pitching in session 1. We have 1, eGreen Global, 2, The Plant Eat, and 3, Repla. So startups, you can go ahead and keep your videos off for right now, and we'll the first one that comes up, you can have your video on. So everyone, yep, thank you. Before each startup, I'm going to show you a 60-second founder video we call Vision 60. So our first startup is eGreen Global, and let's get started. I'll show you their video first, and they will pitch right after.
My name is Kijun. I'm the founder and CEO of eGreen Global. We are an agri-biotech company with a vision of revolutionizing the worldwide farming industry with our clean seed technology. At eGreen Global, our mission goes beyond just profits and margins. With our technology, we aim to help and bring benefits to farmers and regular people around the world, not just big conglomerates. Despite being a small agriculture company in Korea, we have grand vision of what we will accomplish. Our goal within 20 years is help double the worldwide level of seed potato production with our technology. By accomplishing this, we will help the world in so many ways, from decreasing famine issues to solving food security issues for developing countries. By introducing our technology to farmers and seed producers, not only will we help them to become more profitable, but we will also help prevent the effects of climate change. We are a small company with huge vision.
All right, everyone, please welcome eGreen Global, Kijun Shin. You may begin your pitch whenever you're ready. You have 5 minutes from when you start.
Okay, can you see the screen?
We can see it. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. Today I'm here to talk about potato. I bet all of you here are familiar with French fries and potato chips. But did you know that potatoes are the 4th largest food crop worldwide and consumed in more than 160 countries? However, there is a huge problem when it comes to potato production that's resulted in a massive yield gap between top producing countries and the rest of the world. Only 10 countries can produce enough crop to satisfy their demand, with the top countries producing 300% more yield than most other countries. The reason is a worldwide shortage of clean seed potatoes, free of diseases and viruses, that are needed to start production. My name is Kijun, and I would like to introduce you to eGreen Global. We have developed tissue culture microtube technology to help farmers and countries increase their production of clean seed potatoes. By using our new technology, countries around the world will be able to increase their potato yield and profit, solve famine issues, guarantee their own food security, introduce new varieties to market fast, and avoid the effects of climate change on yield. The conventional method of producing clean seed potatoes is complicated, time-consuming, and has many drawbacks. It involves multiple generations, taking up to 6 years. Production is limited by greenhouse space, and it's difficult to control pests and diseases. Using our new method, we have been able to eliminate the greenhouse by using a lab, reduce the entire process from 6 years to 2 years, and we are able to produce 24/7 all year round, while guaranteeing the quality of original seeds. Our output is 150 times more than conventional methods, so our technology presents a great chance for the world to increase the potato yield by up to 300%. We have solved existing problems that other technologies could not handle, such as high cost, time-consuming process, and virus contamination. The total annual global market for seed potatoes is roughly $22 billion. For our serviceable market, we've narrowed the market to China and US only, as we already have a presence in those countries. That represents about $4 billion annually. Our goal within 3 years is to supply $42 million worth of seed potatoes, and this number is based on our production capacity. Demand for clean seed potatoes is very strong, so if our production capacity increases, we are almost guaranteed to sell our entire stock. For our projected revenue, it will be based on our microtuber capacity. Currently, we have 24 million microtubers, which will generate roughly $40 million in revenue by 2024. And by 26, we'll increase our microtuber capacity, and our projected revenue will be over $100 million annually. And our products will be sold directly to commercial potato growers, and we'll focus on collaboration with major players in processing market. And we'll also work with potato variety breeders to introduce new varieties to market. In these new markets, we'll run trials with potential partners to demonstrate our superior seed quality and build trust while doing so. Currently, we're running 7 trials in 4 different countries. At the moment, we are working with 8 large partners, supplying to hundreds of customers directly, indirectly, in 4 different countries. We recently won awards for top innovation in the potato industry from the Netherlands, and we were included in APAC 25 list by Cleantech Group. We have a global executive team with a wide range of experience. Myself, I have 20 years of experience in the agriculture and biotech industry, and many of our members are from plant biology and agriculture industry background. We are looking for strategic global partners to help us expand to new markets. We'll be looking for potential investors next year for Series C. If you're interested in more information, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your presentation. That was just under 5 minutes. You timed that perfectly. And as you can see, guys, people from the audience are reacting with the little emojis at the bottom. You can click that little smiley face and send things. So I guess people liked your presentation, so good job. And now from the judges, please give some feedback. And for everyone who doesn't know, in our events, we don't really do a typical Q&A, but we more of just try to give feedback to help the startups improve their pitch. So who would like to go first?
If I may.
Han, go ahead.
Thank you. Great presentation. Actually, I loved your presentation. You have very clear statement of a problem solution all the way down. Perfect. Just one thing that the average investor will look for is just a little bit more hint about your technology, how you achieve your what your product is. Okay, I'm really curious about it. So maybe we can talk about this later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Han. Would anyone else like? Yeah, Sayan, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, first of all, Kijun, for this wonderful presentation. I think would have loved to see a bit more about your traction. Where are you in terms of either in terms of the product development or in terms of traction? The other aspect is you're planning to go global from day one or day zero, right? So would have loved to understand, you mentioned some of the partnerships you're undertaking, but some more details would have been a bit more helpful for us to understand, because these partnerships take corporate partnerships, B2B, long sales cycle, takes generally a lot of time. So
Yes.
some color on that, where are you, are those forged already or in process, would have helped. Also offline, happy to connect you to a lot of seed input sellers in many of these markets where we are invested in already, and some of the companies that we know across markets, not probably in US, but across the emerging markets. Happy to make those connects.
Thank you very much.
We have time for one more. Jen, I think you may have wanted to speak because your microphone. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. No, I thought that was really interesting. Echo with others that felt like the whole presentation was a teaser to end with what the product or the pattern may be, but then felt a little left hanging without knowing exactly how it works. But maybe another point was this nugget that really stuck with me was how 10 countries around the world produce most of the world's potato supply. If we can get some comment on how you weave that into your go-to-market. I presume US and China, part of your go-to-market, are those top 10 countries. So from an impact angle, how do you solve the need of all these other countries that don't have their own supply chain access? Thank you.
Great.
Just
Thank you, Jen. Thank you to all the judges for your feedback. Thank you, Kijun, one more time. Everyone, let's give one more round of applause. You can hit the emoji button at the bottom and you can get some claps. There you go. I see them coming. Congratulations one more time, Kijun. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have The Plant Eat, and we are going to start with their Vision 60 video. And here it is in just 1 second.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Yang. I'm the CEO of The Planet. Our mission is to make great tasting, nutritious, plant-based food accessible to everyone. While working in the food and bio industry, I realized that most research focuses on problems suffered by rich countries. Problems that usually come from overnutrition, like cancer, obesity, or diabetes, while developing countries suffer from hunger and undernutrition. It's really unjust. Most problems start with the meat industry and overproduction, since so much of the world crops are actually grown to feed livestock instead of humans. At Planet, we are solving the global malnutrition by making high-quality, great-tasting meat alternatives. We are helping to improve people's nutrition and live healthier lives while becoming more environmentally sustainable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob Yang from The Plant Eat. Jacob, you may share your screen and start your pitch whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon. Would you be surprised if I told that what you eat has a bigger effect than what you drive? Surprisingly, the livestock industry has more greenhouse gas emissions than all of transportation. Shocking, right? In fact, each effect, by decreasing the amount of meat we consume, we can save the planet from greenhouses and prevent climate change. Nevertheless, many people hesitate to choose alternative food because they don't like their taste, texture, or smell. What if there are some way to make plant-based meat or milk taste more like the real things? My name is Jacob Yang. I'm the CEO of The Planet. We have developed a way to make meat and milk alternatives closer to the real thing in every way. The result, to be more specific, we have the world's largest food database, so we can use data technology to find plant materials that have compound found in real meat and milk. We also have bio and process technology, so we can separate and remove unnecessary parts in plants for making meat and milk alternatives. The result is our precise plant-based meat and milk that are higher quality, better tasting, and the closest in texture to real meat and milk. At Planet, we produce two separate products. First is non-GMO soybean protein powder. This can be a major ingredient of most alternative foods, whatever egg, meat, and milk replacement. The second are precise alternative milk and meat products made with this soybean protein and data technology. The market of meat and milk in Korea are not a small market. There are $2 billion and $5 billion respectively. Among them, our target obtainable market is B2B channel for milk and meat alternatives, which are $20 million and $5 million respectively. Our milk alternative will compete with existing plant-based milk in the market. The most popular ones are oat-based or traditional soy milk. Our product is superior in many ways to existing plant-based milk because it is closer in taste to the real dairy milk and can be produced at relatively lower cost and easier to digest. In case of alternative meat, we also compete with the large companies and other startups. Unlike other companies, we can sell it at a lower cost than real beef because we developed easier scale up and simple process to make meat alternatives. So we can easily access and target the B2B market and global market. The plan focuses on B2B market first. In case of milk, the first main target market is cafe channel. We have existing relations with various cafes, and we already selling our other products. For meat alternatives, we focus on selling as an ingredient of HMR products such as fried rice or mandu. Team The Planet is composed of experts at least 20 years experience of each part. As a founder of The Planet, I have the convergent experience of IT, BT, and food development and business, so I can connect them. Great members have gathered and have built in step by step from material and process patents to the market strategies. Our revenue is also growing rapidly. From 2022, we began to fundraising for Series B for scaling up our factory. At this moment, we are looking to expand our global network by looking for international partners around the world. If you are interested in The Planet, then please don't hesitate to contact us by this email. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Jacob, for that pitch. All right, now let's start the feedback session with the judges. We've got just over a minute left for any comments.
No, I think this was great. This is Raj
I'll make a
talking.
quick comment, please.
Raj,
I really like. Oh, go ahead.
1 second. I think Raj wanted to speak first, if that's okay.
Yeah. No. I think this is a very good proposition and it's directly hitting the problem. So quite impressive presentation. You touched upon all the aspects, starting from traction to team. Can you talk a little bit about what's your go-to-market strategy? How do you scale the business?
All right. So next time, go-to-market strategy will be a great thing to add. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have time to explain it right now, but that's a good point from Raj. And Han, would you like to give one last comment? We've got about 20 seconds left.
Sure. My only comment, great concept, actually. I really love your solution there. The only thing that I would add more to it is the how elaborate a little bit more competition. This space is, we actually consider several companies to invest in this space. So you might want to add a little more details on the competition. Okay. I know you made a good chart, but a little more elaboration on that one as a investor perspective. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again from the judges and from Jacob Young. Let's give him one more round of applause. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. All right. Thank you. And now we'll move on to the next pitch. That is Repla. And we're going to start with their Vision 60 video. Here it is.
Did you know that only 13% of plastics make it to recycling? Hi, my name is Dong-eun Seo. I am the CEO of Repla. We are a biotech company that aims to use specialized bacteria to increase the efficiency and profitability of recycling industry. Our bacteria eats only the kinds of plastics that recycling companies don't need, while the bacteria do not eat and remain the one plastic kind that recycling companies want to recycle. By this process, recycling companies can sell their recycled plastic at 1.5-fold higher price, which brings more than $3 million per 10,000 tons. In 2016, I had an opportunity to interview several recycling companies, and they all told me they suffered from the same issue that existed for more than 40 years. I made it my goal to help plastic recycling become more feasible. At Repla, our vision is to eventually apply our bioreactors to plastic recycling facilities worldwide. By making the recycling process more profitable, we can incentivize more companies to join in the industry and reduce the global human carbon footprint.
All right, everyone. That was Repla. And let's welcome Dong-eun to the stage to talk about Repla. And Dong-eun, you can start whenever you're, whenever you're ready. You're muted right now, by the way. Can you turn on your mic? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We hear you. Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead and share your screen one more time. Okay. And you may start.
Yep, thanks. Hi, how many of you recycle? Probably all of you, I think. Did you know that what happens to all the plastic when you recycle them? Only about 13% of plastics are made into new plastic products. 87% are discarded even after entering the plastic recycling facilities. It was very shocking to me. There are many kinds of plastics such as PET, PVC, PP, PS, and PE. Recycling companies have to sort all different types before being recycled. For example, PET recycling companies have to sort only PET, which means 100% purity. This is difficult because plastic types are often used together in one product. So 2 to 5% impurities are considered acceptable. More than 5% can't be used. And 87% of the discarded plastics are burned or buried because of the impurities. And even though they pick 13% of plastics, it is not making enough quality for the goods. Therefore, the price of recycled plastic is only 53% compared to the new plastics. And moreover, recycling companies are responsible for the cost of disposing the 87% of what they're discarding. By solving the purity issue, recycling companies can make higher profit than the current state. So, is there a new way that we can help the environment and help increase recycling company margins? So, Vipla have developed a bioreactor which uses bacteria to enhance the plastic purity. Our bacteria degrade only the plastics that recycling companies want to remove and doesn't eat the plastic kind that companies want to remain. By using our bacteria, they can have perfect purity of plastics they want and make higher the price of their selling products. By using Repla's bioreactor, we make it possible for recycling companies to reduce the 2 to 5% impurities to under 0.35% impurities, which is a perfect purity, and increase the value of their final recycled plastics from 53% price to 80% price compared to the virgin plastic. And the price difference increased profitability of recycling companies is 3 million USD per year based on 10,000 tons, which means it's just a one production line. Also, recycling companies do not need to replace any of their existing solutions. They just need to add a bioreactor to their process at the end. The process is first, plastics are mixed and they're just added to the bioreactor. And our bacteria degrade certain types of plastics, leaving behind 99.65% pure desired type of plastic. Repla's business model has two ways to make money. First, we install the bioreactor to existing recycling companies. Second, our specialists are sent to the facilities to maintain the bioreactor and feed the bacteria. Bioreactor is 2.5 million USD, and the maintenance fee is 720,000 USD per year. We investigated, and plastic recycling companies spend at least 6 million USD for machineries per year. Therefore, they are affordable enough to adopt our solution. Our expected worldwide sales scale of selling bioreactor is $80 billion, and the maintenance fee is $23 billion per year. Other than Repla, there are no competitors treating PE, PP, PVC, PS degrading bacteria to be commercialized. Yet there are some PET degrading technologies, but they do not aim to make higher purity, since they nor cannot handle other plastic types than PET, neither perfectly degrade PET. Our existing competitors only degrade PET into half, and they reassemble them, so they have completely different strategy from us. We have one registered domestic patent, one patent for China, and one patent for Europe. We are planning to apply US patent next year. We culture the bacteria until 5-liter reactor and keep expanding the scale of culture. After 2 more years of research, we aim to install a working prototype to a recycling plant and conduct a pilot test. Our team consists of 23 members, including 5 leaders and 4 experts who have more than 10 years of experience in research and the industry. We are now funding total 3 million USD to achieve our next goal to make a 5-ton prototype and conduct a pilot test. We've actually already collected 2 million USD from domestic investors and finding the rest of the 1 million USD funding. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dongan, for your pitch. And you can also notice there are some comments on the chat that founders, you can actually message those people directly. So Dongan, if you want to talk to Gabriel or Philly in the chat box, you can do that right after this. But now let's hear feedback from the judges. Han, you're up.
Oh, thank you. I'm very impressed. Okay, your presentation is of course awesome. Not to mention that, but your solution and your approach to the problem is just great. And you also great use of statistics in exactly right way. So very impressive. Thank you. I'd like to talk to you about this, your company later. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Great, thanks, Han. Any other feedback from our judges?
Hi, yeah, just jumping in here. Great pitch, interesting solution. actually looked at one of these ventures that only do rPET recycling. So my eyes were, I was educated by you that that's not good enough. There needs to be all types of plastics along the value chain. Maybe two comments. One is with regards to any regulatory framework when it comes to either importing or creating that culture locally. I think that part of how you actually work with the plants wasn't so clear. And then secondly is if recycling company, I think you painted the whole pitch around, companies can make more profit, and it's good for them to do so for the environment. But if a company were to say no, typically why would they say no, and how does your solution still mitigate against that? I guess you commented, of course, that you also do all types of plastics. So if it's not profit, if it's not the ability to weave all types of plastics through the process, why else would a company say no, and maybe address that upfront? But overall, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks to all the judges. Thanks one more time to Dongwon. Let's give Dongwon one more round of applause from the audience. Let's see those claps. All right. I see them. Thank you, Dongwon, one more time. All right. And guys, now we have a short little break because we have to let the new speakers come on stage. So like I said before, the screen will go blank for about 15, 20 seconds. But don't leave. We'll be right back. And we are back, guys. We've got our new speakers on the stage. I'm just going to be muting their mics because they didn't mute them. So 1 second. Okay, we're all here. So quick up, we have 4 startups left. We'll have 4EN, Bro9, Who's Good, and WePlat. So first off, we have 4EN. Here is their Vision 60 founder video.
Hello, my name is Jin-hyuk Yang, the branch manager of 4EN. The global average temperature has reached the highest level in history since the Industrial Revolution. Climate change is already occurring all over the world. This is a particularly big issue in Asia, where there are many developing countries. As economies grow, greenhouse gas emissions increase, destroying their environment. This is the reason we started 4EN. We develop and produce alternatives to fossil fuels to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We also receive carbon credits by quantifying greenhouse gas emissions. This contributes to preserving the environment and helping economies in Asia. Our vision is already underway in Myanmar. Next, we'll be the leaders of Asia's largest greenhouse gas reduction initiative.
So FYI, the person who made that video is not the CEO. The CEO is pitching. That is Ho-Chul Lee, and he is coming on the screen right now. Ho-Chul, you may begin whenever you're ready.
Okay.
And please turn on your video so we can see you as you pitch. Thank you. You may begin.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Ho-Chul, CEO in 4EN. Okay. Most people are concerned about global warming. Government, companies, NGOs are also concerned about global warming. But what technology method reduce greenhouse gas emission? Everyone can agree on. United Nations Framework Convention, climate change called UNFCCC, manages the methodology, project, and carbon credit on clean development mechanism. CDM is managed according global standard, and it is global market for tech venture. 4EN is a waste management company in Korea. We have technology to recycle waste to replace coal and oil. And we are conducting CDM project domestic and overseas. 4EN aim to solve Asia's waste problem and greenhouse gas emission problem together with its own climate technology. However, these two problems can be solved by Foyen alone, and the synergy is created when working with global partners in agriculture, construction, and energy sector. Finally, our mission is develop Foyen and global partners in Asia's largest greenhouse gas reduction initiative. Foyen is already successfully carrying out Myanmar's solid fuel CDM project together with Korea's number one oil refinery company, SK Energy. It is a project to make peanut shells discarded in Myanmar into biochar through pyrolysis process and solid fuel through thermal expansion process. This business is registered CDM project of the UNFCCC very quickly after initiation, and the pilot plant is also being operated in Magway, Myanmar. The reason this project can get more carbon credit than other CDM projects is because of Foyen's pyrolysis and expansion technology that maximize the calorific value of peanut shells. Through this project, Foyen and SK Energy can expect 10 tons CO2 per ton of peanut shell solid fuel. As the current price of carbon credit in Europe is 61.5 euro per ton, so Foyen and SK Energy can expect to earn more than 600 euros per ton of solid fuels, in addition to solid fuel sales cost. By the way, we should note a special issue that came from the US. At the forum, President Biden officially signed 30% reduction in methane emission by 2030. And 24 countries will join in methane reduction agreement. Why methane? The most famous greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, called CO2. However, methane is a dangerous greenhouse gas with global warming potential of 21 times higher than CO2. By the way, seeing this issue as a business opportunity, if we reduce 1 ton of methane, we reduce 21 tons of CO2. So we can secure 21 times more carbon credits. Foyen has a solution reduce methane gas in Asia, just like in Myanmar, where peanut shell reduce greenhouse gas emission. We have plans build an environmental plant using Asian food waste and livestock manure. The plant consists the process of generating electricity by burning methane and a process of converting methane into methanol. And as we learned and felt in Myanmar, we will develop CDM project route sustainable development in Asia. Look at the case Vietnam environmental plant and landfill combined. Disposing of waste in Ho Chi Minh City is making remarkable return with an IRR of close to 8%.
20 seconds left, Ho-Chul, 20 seconds.
Okay. This high return is due to carbon credit price of $10 US. You may be wondering, why doesn't it explain the size of the market? I emphasize once again, global warming is a matter of survival. Methane is greenhouse gas that we can secure high carbon credit return as much as it is dangerous. Foyen plan to develop methane reduction environmental plant project in Asia based on its investment attraction and Myanmar business performance. 4EN and global partner will develop into Asia's largest greenhouse gas reduction initiative. Thank you.
All right. Great job. And now let's hear some feedback from our judges for 4EN. Does any judge want to go first?
I'll go first as usual.
Yes, go ahead on.
Right, thank you. I really like your approach to the problem. Just as a average investor, I look for just a couple of things. Number one, I would actually this suggestion here. Okay, I would add a clear what do you call the path for this introduce a solution to the globally. Okay, if your solution is good as it is now, I mean not if I think it's really good. I think you should go for top in the world, not in Asia. Okay, that's the one suggestion. And the second suggestion is that you probably want to add a little more about your team because people will look for it. Okay, thank you. Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Han. Because of time, we have to move on to the next pitch. Thank you one more time to Ho-Chul from 4EN. Let's hear some claps. Let's see those emojis come up. All right, perfect. Thank you, Ho-Chul.
Thank you.
And now we'll get ready for our next pitch. That is Bro9. And first we'll start with the Vision 60 video. You'll see that on your screen now.
Hello, my name is Sang-myeon. Have you ever been annoyed at how many different chargers and adapters you have for all your electronics? It's not only annoying and inconvenient, but sometimes confusing. With Volkit, we are creating a minimal charging lifestyle for people all around the world. Volkit is an electronic microcontroller unit which allows complete control and integration across all range of voltage and current in our electronics. Our goal is to create one single charger for all the world's electronics, even including electric vehicles. Volkit makes charging more convenient and easier for consumers and helps manufacturers save on cost by producing only one single type of charger for all their product lines. We will become the go-to charging solution and the global standard for electronic charging while putting consumers back in charge of their charging.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Sang-myeon from Bro9. You may get started, Sang-myeon, whenever you are ready. And you are muted, by the way. So please, let's hear your microphone. You need to unmute your microphone, Sang-myeon. You're muted right now. You'll need to click the button, the micro. Yeah, there. Good.
Yeah, okay. Hello, have you ever realized how many different chargers and adapters you have for your electronic device? I notice every time I travel, it seems I need an extra suitcase just for all my chargers: phone, camera, drone, laptop, and tablet. It seems like every device in my house has a different adapter and charger. It's not only annoying, but super inconvenient. Due to international regulation to reduce e-waste, large companies are integrating terminal of smart device adapters into Type-C. Therefore, if you purchase only one Type-C adapter, you can charge it, even if you purchase a new smart device. However, chargers that charge the battery itself alone are not integrated. The meaning that each charger must be produced and cannot be recycled. It's because the adapters and chargers have different functions. Adapters transmit at a predetermined voltage The charging system in the smart device control electronic power. However, chargers contain more complex functions. Charger as the controlling voltage and speed continue to change depending on the battery type and amount of charge. The charger should be control all charges. Before there was a Brunei, smart device could be charged with just one adapter, but detachable batteries could only be charged by using charge that existing in each charge device. However, Brunei has developed bulky technology and all chargers in the world are no longer needed. One charger with bulky technology makes simply charging lifestyle. Bulky can eliminate the need for consumer to buy different adapters and protect electronics from damage or voltage, and even avoid manufacturer needing to produce different chargers and adapters. The charger and adapter market are a total of about $46 billion and have grown by 6% over the past 3 years. Among them, the sub-market is a charger market that charges about $1 billion of removable batteries. In the B2C market, bulky competition come in two main groups. Group A is a charger and adapters from companies such as Camera and Power Drill that provide only one charger to their products. They are very expensive and have the capability to charge the high voltage devices. Group B offers third-party chargers can charge only for smart device. Orchid has an advantage in that it's compatible for devices of any current or voltage level. It will also be available at competitive price. Brunei minimum viable product was officially launched a week ago, and we successfully finished the Kickstarter. The terminal development of B2B was successfully carried out. Currently, contracts with global OEMs such as Canon, Sony, and GoPro are on the way. This is our plan to penetrate the market and grow as a market leader in the future. After 4 years, Brunei aims for IPO. We will do both B2C and B2B business. Brunei is selling charger globally directly to consumer using online marketplace and developing customized power terminal for B2B customer including Canon, Belkin, and Bosch. Brunei has a well-balanced leadership. Sony in charge of technology and production, Sangmyeon in charge of business and investment, and Ilyu in charge of patents and certification. Brunei is scheduled to carry out Series A funding in the first quarter of next year. In addition, we are looking for distributor and marketing partner to explore our overseas markets. Just use Bolkit right away. Thank you.
Great job. All right, Sangmyeon, thank you. Let's hear some comments from the judges. Feedback, anybody? Han, I think you're going to go first as well, looks like, again.
I could, yeah, definitely. Good presentation, and it's a very clearly stated a solution there. Just one suggestion. At the beginning, you probably want to show your product, your solution, because when I saw your profile, I was really wondering, is this charger or charging technology or what? Okay. And you made people a lot wonder, which is good, add up the thrill, but in a short period of time, you might want to add that, okay? And also, you might want to add a little bit about your competition, in case what kind of unfair advantage that you have in the competition. This space is very competitive, of course, so you might want to add that, okay? Thank you.
Thanks. Jen, you have a comment as well, I believe.
Hi. I thought it was an interesting storytelling to start off by commenting on how, from a sustainability view, there's a lot of these produced chargers. We don't really need it. But then I felt like we didn't close back with the sustainability angle in that it wasn't clear how, by consumers purchasing this, would it influence value chain behavioral change? I can totally understand from an end user's prerogative why they would support, but it's a little bit unclear on how you would affect change in the value chain if that's part of your storytelling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great feedback from Jen and Han. And by the way, Sangmyeon, you can also see some comments from the audience. You can chat with them privately after the pitch. Thanks again for your pitch. Thanks for the judges. Let's give one more round of applause to Sangmyeon from Bro9. All right. Great job. Thank you very much. All right, guys. We've got two more left. Two great ones. The next one's called Who's Good? And here is their Vision 60 video.
Hi, I'm Maxim Nam, the CPO of Who's Good. We deliver AI-driven ESG insights to help asset managers make responsible investment decisions. We pride ourselves on being a leading provider of hidden data on Asian companies. Our founder and CEO had a long successful career in auditing and had the belief that good companies make a good society. But he found the entire ESG data industry was based on inaccurate, sometimes false data. He quit his high-profile job to start our company with the vision of contributing to transparent and responsible corporate behavior for a more sustainable world. That's who we are at Who's Good, and that's what we do every day. We strive to provide the most accurate data possible to investors to help lead clients to good investment decisions, which in turn will lead to a better impact on the environment and society.
It's my pleasure to welcome Maxim Nam from Who's Good. Maxim, you may begin whenever you are ready.
Sure. Since 2012, the global ESG investments have grown by 300% to over $40 trillion, all managed by using ESG data. If you think good investments come from good data, we got a big problem here, because it's been estimated that only 29% of all ESG data can be considered trustworthy. The result is investments in companies that have great financials, but in reality quite risky. Billions of dollars in investments have been lost in the past events because of these exact situations. So, what is the cause of these inaccuracies? Well, it's a combination of different factors. First, there is no standard for ESG data disclosure that results in biased and inconsistent reporting by the companies. Second, the data is so huge, so humans are just incapable to dig deeper to find great insights. And finally, manual analysis is extremely time consuming and costly. It costs up to $100,000 for end user. And so, how can we avoid these mistakes? Well, my name is Maxim Nam, and I would like to introduce you Who's Good. Who's Good is an AI-driven ESG data provider delivering ESG insights to asset managers to help them with responsible investment decisions. At Who's Good, we use third-party verified data analyzed by AI algorithms. The result is faster, more accurate data at the fraction of the cost of human analysis. The insights can be delivered daily instead of 1 or 2 times a year and at much more reasonable price. We deliver 3 main products to asset managers. It is ESG data for creating ESG funds, ESG reports for engaging with the companies, and ESG platform solutions to track the risks of the portfolios. All 3 combined provide everything asset managers need to make a proper ESG investment strategy. We have 2 main revenue streams. First is the ESG content, where we integrate ESG data into the third-party financial platforms and charge customization fee plus subscription fee, and the ESG service revenue stream, which is basic direct sales of our products to asset managers, and we also charge subscription fee to Access. The worldwide alternative data market is being estimated to be roughly $2 billion, and it includes more than traditional financial data. It things like public sentiment, social media analysis, and others, out of which $1 billion is made up of ESG data, and this is our serviceable market. Our goal for 2025 to earn 1.3% market share, which would equate to $13 million in revenue. The ESG market is very broad and it consists of financial service providers. The quality of the results varies significantly depending on the level of automation and the proportion of ESG analysis versus financial traditional analysis. Who's Good focuses on the automated ESG analysis to provide fast and meaningful results to their clients. We have a team of 30 highly motivated and intelligent people. Thomas Hyun, the CEO and the founder, has over 20 years of experience in ESG research at LG Environmental, and our chairman is a former CIO at Allianz Global Investors Korea. With this experienced leadership and our knowledgeable team, we are ready for success in this industry. This year, we have very meaningful milestones. We secured Series A of $4 million in July, and to date earned $400,000 in revenue. We launched 3 ESG indexes and 1 ESG fund, and established an affiliate that will focus on ESG analysis of SMEs. In 2022, we are planning to expand to analysis to other Asian companies, and for this reason, we are looking for investors and strategic global partners to help us with our expansion. If you would like to hear more about Who's Good and how we revolutionize the ESG industry, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Maxim. Let's hear any feedback from the judges. Let's try to hear from some who haven't spoken yet. Oh, here we go. Sayan, go ahead.
Thanks, Maxime, for the very structured presentation. Very helpful. Would have loved to know a bit more about the other competitors who are working out of different parts of the world, right? Because this is a sort of a global product. You're not creating only for Korea, right? It is global. And we have seen a few other data-focused companies coming out of different parts of the world. So would have loved to understand a bit more about the competition in this space specifically. And you touched upon the traction likely towards the end. Would have loved to understand that part a bit more, where you are at. Also, I mean, definitely this is a very important space for, of course, globally. You mentioned the methodologies that are being used at a very high level, maybe the cleaning up of the data and all of those aspects. Would have loved a some deeper insights on that aspect. Thank you. But great presentation.
All right. Thank you, Sayan, for that. Do we have any other comments from our panel here? Go ahead, Han.
Thank you. Great presentation. Actually, I think your product, you have something great here, okay? So you probably want to continue what you're doing, in other words, okay? And because I could see that this can be a pretty disruptive, positive, disruptive force. One suggestion about your presentation, you want to touch a little bit more on your intellectual property. When you have AI algorithm that have either you have to trade secret or patent, and so you want to touch base on that one, okay? I'd like to talk to you more about that one too, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That's all the time we have for that one. So thank you again, Maxim. Let's give Maxim one more round of applause from the audience. Thank you. All right. Great job. We have one final startup left that is called WePlat. So before he starts, let me show you their Vision 60 video right now.
My name is Sang-Hoon Cha, CEO of Whiplet. Whiplet is a digital impact company founded for solving a global water leak problem. According to WHO, 2 billion people do not have access to clean water in the world. If we save clean water from 20% water leak reduction, we can supply the additional clean water to 10 million people in the world. Whiplet is trying to address the challenge of high cost and export dependence of existing solutions with IoT, AI, cloud technology. Now, water leak problem can be solved anywhere in the world, only with a smartphone in your hand. We are doing our best to bridge water service gap between developed and underdeveloped countries with a disruptive digital technology. This is Water Intelligence Platform, Whiplet.
All right, guys, our last pitch of the day. Please welcome Sang-Hoon Cha from Whiplet. And you may begin whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you for waiting. This is Whiplet. Did you know that there is a 40 billion US dollar water lost annually in the world? It means the 110 million tons of water disappeared to the ground every day, which is equivalent to 13 million kilograms of carbon dioxide emission. So many countries are suffering from the water scarcity. The climate change is threatening our communities from a drought. So it is a global issue that can't be ignored. So saving water from a drought, from water leak, is the best way to address the challenge of a drought. We solve a global water leak problem. I'm Sang-Hoon Cha, CEO of Whiplet. Actually, this water leak problem can be managed by a water leak management system. However, it's not that simple because it is very complicated to set up and extremely expensive, time consuming, also required a lot of water management expert. So how do you think Whiplet solve this problem? We developed a Nello system. Nello is a mobile IoT cloud software which is worked with AI. Actually, Nello stands for Never Lose Water. That is exactly what it has to do. Nello consists of several parts. The sonic M1 helps you to pinpoint water leak location by analyzing sound data. So water leak can be detected anywhere in the world with a mobile phone and the sonic M1 in your hand. And the sonic M2 helps you detect water leak in real time by monitoring water pressure data in pipe network. And the Nello mobile application and the cloud software supply the total water leak management system by analyzing sound and pressure data remotely with AI. Nello can be simply implemented in smart mobile phone and cloud server. Therefore, you can save cost and time. Also, the high-cost water management expert can be replaced by non-professional, the local people, by using AI technology. We started to sell our products since January of this year in South Korea. Now 17 local water companies are using Nello. They have detected 170 water leak points even in the first half of this year. And all of them are creating social value by using a non-professional local people to collect water leak sound in the field. This is why we think Nello is a sustainable solution, especially to the developing country. Global water leak market is estimated $5.5 billion annually. As of 2021, we are working with 7 global projects in 6 countries, including People's Partnership and the Koika Cities project, also ADB project. Interestingly, we finished a successful pilot project with the heat pipe customer in 2021 in South Korea. So $50 million in sale is expected to be achieved in 6 years by expanding business from water to heat and gas oil industry. For a fast business expansion, we are supplying the subscription type service. I have 23 experience in water industry. This is Whiplet has a strong competition. We are trying to bridge water service gap between developed and underdeveloped country with a disruptive technology. This is Water Intelligence Platform, Whiplet. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you for your pitch. Sang-hoon, do we have any final comments for the judges? Any feedback from our panel? Sayan, I think, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Sang-hoon. Great pitch. I would love to learn more about this. This is sort of a global problem, and especially for some of the emerging markets where the water crisis is heightening. Some of the cities are losing water at a very fast level, and I mean across Africa, Asia, some of the geographies globally. So would have loved to know more about those pilot projects that you are undertaking. How are they working out? That would have given a much better sense of the traction. But overall, great pitch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Sayan. Do we have any other feedback from our panel here? Okay, I think that's it. Sang-hoon, thank you very much. Let's give one more round of applause to Sang-hoon, our final pitch of the day.
Thank you.
Some claps. Let's get some of those blue hearts. They have all those blue hearts. Oh, it's a red heart, sorry. Thank you one more time. All right, great. Okay, guys, it's now time to vote. So I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to think about who you like the most, and I'm going to show you a code on the screen for the audience to make their vote. Judges, go ahead and finish your scoring right now as well. We can see that live, so looks like you guys are doing that. Audience, get ready. I'm going to show you a code in about 15 seconds. Okay, guys, now it's time to vote. I'm going to show you how to do it. And that's going to be just like this. Here is the code. All right, so people in the audience, please go to this website, www.menti.com. Enter the code 3003908 and vote. The votes will come up in real time, so startups, don't be shocked. Don't be embarrassed if we see your results. Yep, see, there's the first pitch right there, the first score. Who's good got one place. We're going to see those numbers start changing. All right, now remember, this is the audience vote only. This is not the final score. The final score is the judges get 80% of the vote. You guys voting is 20%. All right, but I see more people are voting. It looks like 13 people have voted so far, 14, 15. That number is going to keep moving up. I'm going to let this go for about 3 minutes to prevent spamming. Okay, so 3 minutes. You guys have 3 minutes to continue voting. I'm going to turn my video off. I'll be right back. All right. Good luck to all the teams. For everyone wondering, we're still just waiting for 2 more minutes for more people to vote. It looks like the audience vote is clear, but we're going to give it more time. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. All right, let's give it about 90 more seconds for the votes to come in. If the numbers start changing a lot, I'll give it more time, but let's see. We have 111 people in here live right now. So far, 48 have voted. So half of you have not voted yet. If you go to the chat box, you can see a link to the website, www.menti.com. Please put in this code 3003908, and you will see this page that I'm showing you right now. Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to check the judges' scores. I'll be right back. All right, guys, going to finish with the voting now. As you can see, the final vote, we had 70 people vote. For the audience vote choice, that went to Repla. Okay, that's the audience vote. That's not the final vote. Yes, the audience vote is now over, Veronica. Thank you for asking. Repla won the audience's choice vote, was set with 36% of 70 votes. All right. Now, for the actual announcement, okay, we have all the judges who have now put in all of their scores. I'm looking at it right now. I'm checking. I'm confirming. Okay, ready to go. Okay, on this next slide, you're about to find out the winner. Before I announce the winner, though, I want a couple of feedback from the judges. Sabrina, would you like to, talk about your experience here at the event today?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It was super interesting. I'm pleasantly surprised about the quality of the startup, of the pitches. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I've never used this platform before, AirMeet, but I think the overall experience was super interactive, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and AirMeet is really cool. It's a startup based in India, and they raised funds from Sequoia. They're doing really, really well, and we like working with them. Thank you again, Sabrina. Han, you were the most talkative panel we had today. Thank you for that. What was your
Right.
on the event?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I had to refrain myself to talk more, by the way. So, anyway, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks to Power PT and also Seoul Startup Hub. Actually, we are also global partner of that too. But anyway, I have seen and judged many demo days around the world, right? As Jonathan knows me. And this is one of the well-organized run event I've seen. Just like Sabrina said, the platform is great, but it actually is a lot more than that. The feedback sessions, I found it very useful to startup, especially this setting, and also this session, the demo day is very well equipped, and they actually are really great to see. They bring general audiences perspective in judging. I really like that actually. And also, not to mention, actually, this is above all, the level of participating startups are very high. It's very amazing. All of you guys are amazing. I had a really hard time to choose, actually. But the one thing I want to tell you as a Korean American venture capitalist who cares about Korean market and Korean startups, okay? And you all have a great idea, solution, ability, and passion, and so, all that. But I just want to tell you one more thing, is that please have more courage and aggressiveness. Sounds a little funny, right? But you have to be a little bit more aggressive to get a spotlight, to grab the spotlight on the global stage, okay? So you've done a great job. Thanks so much again, Jonathan, and thanks so much to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Han, for that. And I agree with you. The startups were amazing. We had a great partner with SBA Songsu, Seoul Startup Hub, who helped source the startups. The judges, thank you one more time, all of you who spoke, Raj, Sayan, Jen, Sabrina, and Han. We also have 7 or 8 other judges behind the scenes who are about to participate in the networking session. So thank you to all of you who are also judging. I know you can hear me right now, and I cannot say all of your names, but thank you for that. This has been a really fun event. And yeah, I like doing this. I'm glad that everyone else has enjoyed it so far as well. And now it's time for me to announce the winner. By the way, the winner gets this golden ticket. All right. The golden ticket is to attend Seoul Pitch Day. Okay, Seoul Pitch Day, if you don't know what that is, the winner of each podium star gets to go to Seoul Pitch Day and pitch at the end of the year or beginning of 2022. And so it's basically a pitch competition of the winners of the winners. So it's one of the most exciting pitch events. You can learn more about that if you follow me on LinkedIn. I'll probably post about it. Or if you follow our page, you'll find it on PowerPT on LinkedIn. Without further ado, I'm about to make the announcement. All right, guys, drum roll. This is the audience vote plus the judge vote all together. And the winner of ESG in Korea 2021 is, drum roll, guys. Let's get some of those reactions coming up. Reactions. Here we go. The winner is Ripla. Ripla, you are the winner for ESG in Korea. Great job. Everyone else did a great job as well, by the way. You all had amazing pitches, but Ripla, you came out on top. I am going to invite you back up to the stage if I can figure out how to do so, because we'd like to hear a few comments from you. I found you. 1 second. Going to invite you to the stage. Dongin, would you like to say anything about how you feel right now?
I didn't expect to win this contest. I just wanted to spread our idea and get some help about our funding and other things. Thank you so much for your comments, and I really like the judges' points of our pitch. So I want to get in touch with everybody and get some more network and develop our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dongin. And you can come take this anytime. Just come to my office. I'll give it to you. Actually, you don't need this exact one. We'll remember you. Okay, guys. It's the end of the event, but it's actually not the end of the event because we have a networking session, which many of you already know. Once I finish this session, I'm going to hit end on my side. The screen will go back to the beginning. You will see about 15 tables. These are virtual tables that you can join and network with people. All right. Our startups have private tables with the judges. So the VC rooms will say private. And I'm sorry to the general audience, you cannot join those, but those are for the startups. But for everyone else in the audience, there are 4 or 5 open tables. Join that. Let's talk. I'll join one as well. I'll be happy to talk to you. And there's also a speed networking feature where you can do one-on-one speed networking. It's like speed dating, but speed networking. So, all right, guys. And for that final question from Poogyung, message me privately for that. Okay, guys, thank you one more time for attending ESG in Korea 2021. I'm Jonathan. Have a great day. I will see you at the networking session. Bye.